Welcome to STARCARD Podcast. Here at STARCARD Podcast, we're cruising at an astral altitude with a cosmic attitude. My name is Breakaway Ray. How are you today? Don't answer that. I don't care. Today is March 8th, 2026. You've tuned into a live tarot throw. Let's tell you what's on the agenda for today. First, we're going to start off with tarot haiku. We're going to throw some cards down in the form of a haiku poem, and we're going to invite the tarot world to share an inspiring, uplifting message right when we need to hear it, whether you're tuning in live or catching this on a recording. Then, I'm in open negotiations with my boss, and I'll be calling for a timeout and a replay review from the booth. And I can't wait to share that strategy with you. And then in about 35 or 40 minutes, it'll be time for tarot for the audience. If you're tuning in live and you'd like a reading in the second part of the show, please check my instructions in the chat. Type tarot, please, in all capital letters, and I'm happy to throw cards for you. But in the meantime, I'm really glad that you're here. Thanks for joining me. Thanks for tuning in to STARCARD Podcast. Let's not wait any longer. Let's go to the tarot cam. All right, I'm going to adjust some lights here, everybody, and looks like we're all ready to get started. Last time we did tarot haiku, I used the Ethereal Bloom deck, and the reason is because these flowers on the back of the deck remind me of Japanese cherry blossoms, and of course, all the cards are festooned with beautiful flowery imagery. Look, there's the Eight of Swords. That's my card that says as much as you can imagine, everybody. It's the manifestation card. All right, but anyway, we're going to go put this down. I'm actually not going to use the Ethereal Bloom for my opening throw. Today's tarot haiku features the classic Robin Wood deck. The pictures on the Robin Wood deck are more complex and more established. And hey, everybody, I'm hoping everyone gets an Ace of Pentacles today. So here we go. We're going to toss the cards and turn the show over to the real star, the tarot world. I enjoyed yesterday's show when the tarot world came out with all kinds of flourish, as it should, right? Because, again, the tarot world is the star of the show. Here we go, tarot world. We're going to do a little tarot haiku. I know you're going to cleverly embed a message for all of us, something that we can all think about and build upon. It's a fortune cookie with an exponent. Here we go. Oh, what am I going to do for tarot haiku? So here, let's come upstairs for this part, right? I get to pretend to be a teacher again. There we go. So in Japan, the form of a poem called a haiku, and it features 3 lines with 5 syllables, 7 syllables, 5 syllables, and it's up to you to determine how those syllables are filled up. There's also usually a change, even in that spare amount of syllables, those few words that you are using, there's a change in the poem, and by the time you get to the end, you have a totally different perspective, a totally different point of view. I'm kind of glad. Now I'm realizing why we're doing tarot haiku today, because that goes along with the theme of today. So I'm not going to throw 5 cards, 7 cards, and 5 cards, but I am going to throw 2 cards, 3 cards, and 2 cards, and let's see what happens. I think the tarot world's already got it figured out, right? I mean, the script's already planned out, so let's just go right to the cards again. Tarot haiku. Here we go. Tarot world. I could do a better job of presenting. But anyway, we all know what's going on here. The tarot world gets to write a haiku poem. Here we go, everybody. From the tarot world to you. So the first card goes up here, and the last card on the bottom goes over there. I'm going to fill in the middle here with fanning and cutting. There's a cut. Here's a fan. We need 3 cards across the middle. Look, that guy wants to come out too. All right. And then let's cut. And we're going to fan for the last one. 2, 3, 2. This is all for entertainment purposes only. I'm combining poetry with, I don't know, spiritual inspiration. I guess that's what you'd call it. I don't know. I'm new to this stuff. All right. Again, here we go. Entertainment purposes only. Tarot haiku. The opening. The scene is set. Wow. Hey, everybody. Get a gander at that lover's card. I have to cover it up. Apparently, that's one of the rules, right? I'm going to move it over here so we can see these better since they have to stand like that. So remember how I invited the tarot world to take the stage? Okay, it's happening again. The lover's card for me usually means not only is this a message from the spirit world, but the spirit world is actually right here. Do not be confused. It's like having a second person in the room. Yeah, the tarot world's going to speak here. And not only that, the tarot world is presenting all of us with an Ace of Pentacles. That means we got to read about the Ace of Pentacles. I'm going right to the book here. This is from the Craft deck. I'm already excited. This is how I like to do poetry. I like that. That's right. I was an English lit major. You know, I could take a look at an Emily Dickinson poem or 2 lines of an E.E. Cummings poem and talk about it for half an hour. Anyway, let's read about the Ace of Pentacles. The time is coming for you to manifest your goals, achieve your dreams, and realize your potential. Financial new beginnings, career or business opportunities, investments, savings, prosperity, and manifestation are coming your way. All right, longtime viewers of STARCARD podcast have heard me say this before. I kind of feel like this haiku poem is aimed at me a little bit because it goes along with today's theme. So I appreciate the confirmation, tarot world, personally, of course, and yet this is a message for everybody. This is going to be, you know, in quotation marks, a generic message. It's going to be more like a good template for us to go by. So anyway, let's go to the third line. So the tarot world is here to say, you know, you get a new opportunity, a brand, and it does involve a brand new financial opportunity. I bet finances are on a lot of people's minds. If it's not, I don't know why you're tuning into STARCARD podcast. Go get them. Have a good time. Anyway, let's go to the second line now. All right. So again, we're being presented with a great opportunity. Wow. 5 of Cups, disappointment. 6 of Cups, happy memories, nostalgia. Yeah, they're almost mirror images of the same concept here. Hang on a second. And the Tower card. Bam! Did you hear the explosion, everybody? It's a little haiku poem, but I hear sound effects and everything. All right. So the viewer, let's go like this. The viewer is being presented with a brand new career or financial opportunity. Were things disappointing according to the 5 of Cups? Yeah, but that's only if you look behind. Now, if you look forward in the other direction, you see that you really built up bridges and relationships, and there were a lot of happy memories too. Welcome to surface planet Earth. You get both. You get both. It's the yin and yang. You got to have both. It's that song, Pennies from Heaven again. You know, if you want flowers, you got to have showers. So anyway, things were good for a while with those cups, and now things have changed. Again, we're concerned about where that opportunity is coming from, or at least I am. Whoa, easy. Okay, and now let's see how the end of the haiku poem goes. Yay, that's good news. What is the news, Breakaway Ray? All right. The good news is the 3 of Pentacles says we are building something, implementing something, starting something new, and even working with a team. And you know what else is a message that I think I see here? You know, check out what this guy is doing. This is totally surreal. I dig surreality, okay? But check it out. You're nailing feathers onto a wall, but there are 6 pentacles. What is that guy doing? I mean, I guess there's like symbolism, and I could look it up. But in any case, it's not something I expected to see. That's the thing. It's not something I expect to see. Is that my job now? Nailing feathers to a wall? Okay, I'll nail feathers to a wall. I'm off on a new adventure. I don't know where I'm going. I'm using the first person, everybody, but I think this goes for everybody. We're all off on a new adventure. We should have not blind optimism, but spontaneous optimism and blind faith. We can trust because, again, we're getting this opportunity from the universe. And thank goodness we had a chance to experience all this. You can't do this anywhere else. You know, where else can you ride the roller coaster except surface planet Earth? So are things changing in your life? Keep at it. Keep your nose to the grindstone. You know, work hard, because there's a new adventure for all of us. All right. Thank you very much for joining me for that tarot haiku. I like the story. I want to thank you, Tarot World. It was well delivered, well put, lovely imagery, good things for us to think about. Of course. All right. Let me give these a toss. Well, I am digging it, everybody. I know I mentioned this the last couple of days, but I already have like likes, so I really appreciate the likes. I share the likes right with the people organizing the cards for me. So don't forget, you're having a good time. That's great. I'm glad you're here. We're all having a good time together. All right. So I've got some notes, as I usually do. And yesterday we were talking. I forgot exactly what I said yesterday, but we were talking about, you know, examining things. Oh, there we go. You know, getting in God's Zeppelin, rising high above the situation and checking out, you know, what's really going on. What are all the dynamics? Okay, because the universe is much bigger than just the stuff in front of us, right? We can't see the forest for the trees. Is that how the old expression goes? So I'm actually going to take a look at my situation. So yeah, what a weird mix. And it goes along with, oh, I'm hearing about unstable connection over here. Hang on, everybody. Okay, the warning went off. All right. So, but I'm observing a pattern, like just from today, just from my viewpoint here on March 8th, 2026, at the age that I'm at, in the circumstances that I'm at, I'm like taking a look at all the situations now, and I'm stringing them together, and I'm trying to, you know, find a pattern, right? What kind of pattern is being overlaid over my life over and over again? So maybe if I can figure out a pattern, I can figure out what's going on better, because I like planning my lessons. I don't mind flying by the seat of my pants, making in-flight adjustments, speaking extemporaneously off the cuff. You know, that's definitely fun. But, you know, at the same time, it's good to have a future where you know everything's going to be taken care of. And I think that I am supposed to believe, and I'm allowing myself to be skeptical in front of everyone. Okay, I'm supposed to believe that everything's going to be all right. I'm going to be taken care of. I'm a precious part of God's plan. So I got to have faith. And here I'm going to keep on pretending that I do. So let's go to my notes now and make sure I don't miss anything. Here we go. Oh, I'm going to mention this part too. So today we're going to use the analogy of going to the video replay booth, right? During the game, you go to the video replay booth so you can really examine what's going on. But again, you're going up to the booth. Okay, you're looking at it in a very specific way. You're comparing it to the environment around it, what have you. That's one analogy for what we're going to do today. Okay, because it takes the emotion right out. Right, you're just looking at the science. What's going on? All right. Again, let me try this again. All right. So here I go, everybody. We're gonna go back in time. It's going to be a lot of time, because I'm going to be 60 this year. So we're going to go back to the 1980s. I graduated high school. I'm going to college. I'm living at home. I'm paying my dad rent money. Okay. And my grandpa, the short story is, he's helping me pay for my education. Thank goodness. Thank God. Okay. That is terrible, having any kind of debt. That's like not my thing at all, much less college debt. But, you know, a lot of us understand the indentured servitude system. And, you know, that's not something that we're going to talk about today. Okay. Well, we can change all this. We can change all this. I'm confident of that. Right. So going back to summer camp, it was a camp in Calabasas, California, and it was on Mulholland Highway. And I was sometimes a counselor, but most of the time I was the movies and drama guy, the movies and drama center. So I had like a classroom on the campus of the camp. It was a school and a camp. It was a private school and a camp. And I think I told this in another story. I had a TV and a video camera, and I could make plays and the kids could watch themselves in black and white on the TV in the 1980s. But it was like a camp for rich kids for sure. But that was like top of the line. I never had that before. But one of the things that happened almost every day, well, I'm going to tell you a little more flavor about the camp, because this part's kind of adorable. I get the flavor of the summer camp. Summer's coming, everybody. This is the first day of spring. It's not the first day of spring, I understand, but we just sprung ahead here in my time zone. You all know what that means if you know what that means. So at this camp, they labeled the groups of children by the names of the states. And what I liked was, one gender, let's just say the girls, were all the states named on the east side of the Mississippi, and out on the west, those were the names of the boy groups. And then there were the groups that I ended up working with for a couple of summers. They were the adorable kindergartners, 4 and 5-year-olds, and their group names were all names of Hawaiian islands, like Molokai and Lanai and Maui. Those were good times. And now the other part that I want to tell you about was that I didn't have to do this part, but they asked me to do this part. And, they said, you're the drama guy. And they said, we have something called opening from 8 o'clock until 8:30, where the kids go up to the lunch area under the oak trees. It's a summer camp, and they sit at the tables until their group is there and their counselors come and they go off on their day. And we need someone to hold the microphone, Breakaway Ray, and make announcements and things. And you know what? It seems to fit your job description. And I didn't fight it at all. And so, for several summers, that was like my thing. It wasn't just being a counselor and doing that thing in the classroom as the drama teacher, but also being a master of ceremonies. I was born to do that. I was already doing that in the high school at the talent show and at the lip sync contest, making a spectacle of myself, as you can imagine. All right. So, but that was some serious training. Like every day, I had to trudge up the hill to the opening, the lunch area. And it was, I had like 15 minutes to prepare. What was I going to talk about today? Now, I wasn't just up there blabbing, but I did get a chance to like interview kids and make them stars. First thing in the morning, they get to talk on the microphone, and I interview them. What's your favorite activity at camp? What's your favorite flavor ice cream? Whatever. Okay. And then, so that was some serious training. I didn't get paid extra. And by the way, I'm sure everyone realizes that as a summer camp counselor, you're not making any money. You're not making any money. You barely notice you're making any money. So, you know what? You're having fun. They're allowed. They didn't even have to pay me minimum wage because it was entertainment. That was like a thing. That was like a conversation I had with the directors at the camp in the 1980s. I'm all, how come, the minimum wage is up here, but you're only paying this much? And well, this is entertainment, so we don't have to offer minimum wage. So many rules on how to, be a cheapskate when people are, putting in their time. Anyway, it still turned out very worthwhile for me. Remember the 5 of Cups and 6 of Cups we just saw? Here I am complaining about the spilled financial situation, but the 6 of Cups is I got more cups out of holding that microphone and having fun and talking with the kids. Okay, that's what I'm remembering right now. Good training. Next job. Okay, I'm gonna skip over the part where I worked at a fast food restaurant. Okay, I'm gonna skip over that part. Okay, my next job. I got hired in 1990 as a 5th grade school teacher. And being a 5th grade teacher, whoa, every teacher feels like their cross is the heaviest. I understand. But I think even among teachers, we would show deference and respect to 5th grade teachers and maybe middle school PE teachers. Okay, these are tough gigs. As far as a 5th grade teacher goes, where I live, first of all, you have twice as many kids as primary classes. In the district where I worked, the 4th and 5th grade teachers would have more than 30, sometimes 34 kids in their room. Meanwhile, as of about 20 years ago, they changed it for primary classes, grades K1, 2, and 3. You could have a maximum of 20 students in there. So already the upper grade teachers are already like grading more papers and writing more report cards and doing classroom management, with twice as many kids almost. It's quite a different ball game. Especially like if you're a fourth grade teacher, as I was for 16 years, you know, you have kids coming up from third grade. They're used to like, they're used to a room of 20 kids or less. And if they help, their teacher's like sitting right next to them. And then they come into fourth grade and the room is twice as large. There's twice as many kids. You can barely see the teacher on the other side of the room. Anyway, let's move on. What else was going on as a fifth grade teacher? Oh, okay. For me individually, I got to do something called teaching a combination class. A combination class because in California, we didn't have enough money to pay for all the teachers and for smaller class sizes. So sometimes you would end up with a fifth and sixth grade class or a fourth and fifth grade class. I had 10 of those classes. I spent 10 years doing that. And of course, that's easy math, isn't it, everybody? We can all do that math. You're teaching 2 grades, breakaway Ray, but you're getting paid for 1. And at the time that I was teaching those combination classes, they were not offering a stipend. The stipend ended up being like an extra $3 a day net, by the way. But once they started offering stipends, all of a sudden my colleagues were very interested in having that class. And somehow I also ended up helping them because they had a combination class. Again, another story, but another situation where I was donating time. I was working for free. But let's think about some of the other things that were going on. I mean, I could teach 1 grade now with one hand tied behind my back. And then eventually I could teach 2 of them. And, you know, because although there's a lot of work involved, there's a lot of time involved, you know, once you get the idea, once you catch the pattern, it's like learning a language. Once you learn one, it's easy to learn languages over and over again. So I'm told. So anyway, what was going on aside from what I was doing in the classroom? I got to do more school talent shows. It was easy for Mr. Breakaway to take the microphone, you know, and he was quite comfortable in front of the audience. Most people, including lots of principals I work with, did not want to have the microphone and be up in front of a couple of hundred people. It's not easy and it's not fun. I was doing it and I made it look easy and I was having fun and everyone enjoyed it. And I guess that's why they had to stop handing me the microphone. But anyway, I got to do that stuff at the talent show. I had a lot of fun, a lot of practice, right? I had to think about what I was going to do on stage because for talent shows, you're not just in front of the kids, you know, their parents are there too. You know, if I could make the whole audience laugh, like I did with those C-3PO jokes the other day, for example, there's some other jokes. Well, anyway, if I could make the whole audience laugh, I really pulled something off, didn't I? I made people from 4 years old to 94 years old giggle. That's pretty cool. All right, so let me see what else I got going on here. Lots of practice doing the talent show. And then we would have these Friday assemblies. If you don't mind me going off on my own show for a little while. Again, everyone knew I was good with the microphone. Everyone liked it when Mr. Breakaway was on stage. Something funny was going to happen. And so there was this other teacher that I work with. And I'm thinking of that imagery, everybody, the 5 of cups and the 6 of cups. The 5 of cups, disappointment, you know, spilled liquid, loss. And on the other side, 6 of cups, happy memories, working together, nostalgia. Okay. There's this lady I work with. She eventually retired and went to Texas. And she was a really nice lady. She had like no, I mean, I know I'm sounding like I'm exaggerating. She had like no impure thoughts. You know, if you asked her to like list some words in a certain category, they would always be like the nicest, most happy and cheerful words. Whereas if you do that, it's kind of like that thing that you see on TV or in movies where, you know, a psychologist or a counselor or what have you would like do a word response. You know, he says a word or she says a word and the patient says the next word that's on their mind. You know, that would be too colorful for me, but not for her. Everything was like angelic. So very nice lady, wonderful 2nd grade teacher. And by terrible coincidence, she was so nice. And she was one of the ones who ended up, you know, retiring early and getting out because there were some surprising conflicts on the staff and she had enough. And I say, good for her. I hope it worked out great for her. And so, but anyway, what she would do is she would say, hey, I want to go see my daughter and my new grandchild or what have you. And it's on Friday. I'm going to take Friday off. You know, as a teacher after so many years, some of them save up their sub days, their substitute teacher days, I guess they're called sick days. They're called sick days. It's not vacation days, okay? But she wanted to use them on Fridays, stretch out the weekend, spend time with the family. I didn't blame her. And then she would ask me, to do the assembly because the principal asked her to do it as her adjunct duty. So I was doing her adjunct duty, and I was doing it week after week after week because she was always taking those days off. So again, I'm looking at it, I'm doing this, I'm doing her job. Okay. This is part of her job description. I'm pitching, I'm helping out. Okay. But then guess what? Breakaway Ray, you're getting a lot of practice, right? Where else can you get practice like that? All right. So that happened for many years. What else have I got here? Oh yeah. The demands piled up. So, besides giving me combination classes as if that wasn't, challenging enough, it seemed like it was always my turn to change grades, which means you have to not just change all your lesson plans, which you end up doing anyway. Okay. But there's lots of materials and books and resources. And now you got to catalog them. And in my case, you have to hold on to them because you never know when your grade's going to change and they're going to move you back, which happened to me. So, am I getting uptight about that? All right. How am I doing on time? I think I'm doing all right. Okay. So, hey, Breakaway Ray, you were doing a great job in 4th grade. Now you have to change and go down to 3rd grade. And you know what? Now you can't do that play anymore in 4th grade. I know I told this story. I just wrote a new play. Okay, you make me do extra work. That's fine. You know what, Breakaway Ray, you don't seem to get frustrated enough when we pile on all this extra work and, the classes are not, even across the board. So tell you what we're going to do. We're going to change your room. And you know what? The next year, we're going to change your room again. We dare you to complain. When you change classrooms, it's like moving apartments or moving houses. There's a lot of packing. It takes a long time. Okay. You're trying to get comfortable. And then the part that I didn't like, there's lots of other things I don't like, but then you have to go in and you have to clean out. The other teacher that leaves that room that you have to move into, they never clean out that room. They never clean it out. I can't tell you how many other teachers I've cleaned up stuff for over the years. Anyway, so at a certain point, I feel like in that career, I was working for free again. I was actually like losing money. It wasn't just like working on the weekends. I was not getting my state mandated breaks. Okay. I would get them, but I couldn't even take them. There were a lot of other things going on. The extracurricular conflict on the staff took up too much of my time. And then I hear from a friend who's a psychic who says, eventually, like some point I hire someone and this person tells me you're supposed to have a podcast. I think that if I didn't have all those negative activities distracting me, I would have figured that out for myself, which is why I'm skeptical about what I'm doing right now. I needed somebody else to tell me about this, Anyway, here I am, and I've been throwing tarot cards since March. I've been turning on the camera since August, and I just want to say I'm working really hard as I usually do. Right, I've developed some great habits over the year. Get up, get to work, have fun, be creative, make sure you look good. Okay, give people something to remember, make them want to come back if you can. That was a great thing to do as I got better as a school teacher going along. Every Friday, I made sure we did something so awesome that I want to come back on Monday. So let me see what I got. Let me see if I covered it all. Whoa. Sorry, everybody. Yeah. All right. So I wrote down, I'm almost done with my first page, believe it or not. Okay. So here's what I wrote down. I'm going to get some different light here. That's a little bit better. Okay. So I digested some concepts, right? I have too much time to myself nowadays. I'm sitting around in my backyard in the peaceful darkness. And I realized that, I was virtually working for free. And in some cases, donating time and was not like working out for me. Right. And there was like no support. Like when I even broach the subject and try to be diplomatic about it, the more of a point that I made, the more everyone had to double down, right? There was nobody understanding. Like even you could talk to your friends, you could talk to other teachers, but everyone's got their own stuff going on. No one understands. I'm just going to say it like in the first person. No one understands my perspective. No one understands the dynamics that are involved. No one understands the effects and the consequences that I have to deal with. Okay. They all support you. They wish you the best, but they got their own stuff going on. Okay. How's that sound for a community? Speaking of community, yeah, there was like no community, no collegiality, and no, what did I write down? Yeah. Well, also along the way, no real companionship. So here I am. I'm an industrious Knight of Pentacles, working really hard to cultivate things, probably ideas. Okay. And my pay is that pentacle that the universe gave me. That's what I'm prizing. I'm prizing what shines. And then now if I'm looking at all these things, have I got it all here? Yeah. So understanding that I'm doing this podcast and that podcasters in general don't make money, right? It's a very slim chance that someone's going to like blow up, go viral, and have millions of subscribers and get all this advertising revenue. Well, if I'm going to play the cards that I think I'm being dealt, okay, maybe the universe doesn't want me to get advertising money. Is that clean money? No way. That's not clean money according to the universe. Maybe I'm getting my money in another place. Also, as much as you look at those 5 of Cups and the ones that are spilled on the ground, Breakaway Ray, again, look at the excellent training. You couldn't have paid to get that kind of training for what you did for 40 years. You couldn't get that kind of training. And look at you, now you're ready to go. Okay, your studio looks good, you look good, you sound good, and your thoughts are strung together. You're not just, well, you're speaking directly to a purpose and you're serving a purpose. And we've helped to create a good channel through you, right? You're complaining about your collegiality and your companionship, etc. But check it out. We were with you the whole time. And now you don't have anyone else's opinions clouding your imagination, right? Is that what the universe is saying to me? Hey, Breakaway Ray, it's just you and us. Okay. And we're sending them the messages out for people who want to tune in. I want to make sure I stay on path. So I'm going to check my notes again here. Yeah. So I think I covered most of it. So it's clear to me, I'm on my own in every way. I'm my own in quotation marks. The spirit world is helping me the whole time, right? Right? Spirit world's helped me the whole time. Okay. If the spirit world was designing this lifetime, they now have a pretty clear channel and a compliantly programmed master of ceremonies. Is that what I'm doing? Is that my job? Awesome. So then I have to trust that if I keep applying myself and I keep living as if I'm the universe's tool and that the universe is writing my paycheck, then I can count and I can have blind faith. I can count on that I'm going to get what I need when I need it, because that's been the story of my whole life, even though I feel like I needed it before I got it. I needed it way before I got it. Anyway, I keep going here. So I'm going to give you 2 more examples that illustrate my point, that help me believe that the universe is helping me out on this path. Okay. One is that I'm being bombarded by angel numbers and synchronicities. Not going to catalog them for you, but I thought they were like overdoing it in the past. Now I'm like getting flooded with messages all the time, right? Even when I'm throwing the tarot cards, right? Okay. And then the other thing I want to tell you is like early on, which would have been, I don't know, August. Well, actually it was happening when I was going on the Typical Skeptic podcast. It was happening when I was going on the Typical Skeptic podcast. And also when I was starting STARCARD podcast, I would do a video either on Rob's show or on my show or whatever. And then my brother would call me up. My brother, he works in the stock market, and I have a few investments with him. And he would call me up and he would say, hey, your stocks just went up. And then how about, I got to go back to 2020. I got to share this story just very quickly. Here I was now teaching from home on a computer. And I mean, luckily my paycheck was still coming in. It felt like I was rebalancing the scales, as it were, because I wasn't working as hard in a way. It was like a more normal job than actually being in the classroom. It was not as intense in lots of ways for me. But in any case, my brother had an inspiration one day. My brother in the stock market, he saw this set of call letters, and when he like tried to say them out loud, it sounded like an Italian name. So then he like looked it up and he investigated, and he asked me, he says, "Why don't we buy this? It's kind of like low right now, okay? But then when the disaster of 2020 hit and schools shut down and everything shut down and we all had to go home, well, the company that my brother suggested I invested in was a medical supplies company. And he he would call me up and say, this particular stock is doing really well right now. And it turned out it worked out really well. I'll tell that story another day. So, but again, it's another example of, it's like a miracle. It was a miracle that it happened. And it worked out, and it made me whole in one department. So, all right, so let me see what I got going here. How about my last page? And that's only a half page. Okay. So this whole conversation that I shared with you, again, I'm restating what I started at the top, where I'm analyzing the patterns of what my jobs in my life have been about, okay? It's been less about making money and taking money from, for example, advertising, or from a dysfunctional institution, or from cheapskates at a summer camp, okay? That's not the money that's gonna satiate me and complete my life, right? When I need support, even those pentacles and things like that, guess what? The universe has shown me over and over and over again, the universe provides. Maybe I complain because I feel like I needed it sooner, but now I understand I got to be paying attention more, and I have to, integrate a greater system of meditation and prayer. That's the real deal. You're right now in my meditation and prayers. I'm talking to a camera. Okay, I don't even know who you people are, but I sure appreciate you tuning in and following along. I appreciate the soda bubble hearts down there too. That keeps me pumped up. So there we go, everybody. Guess what I did? I went like this. Time out. Okay, I'm throwing a flag. I want to know what's going on. Okay, let's go up to the booth and let's look at the video replay. We looked at the video replay of my job at the summer camp and in the classroom, and we analyzed my financial situation and when the rescues came in. Okay, we went up to the booth. So, I can stand there and say, yeah, let's look at the evidence. Let's look at the proof. Let's look at it in slow motion. Okay, instead of just reacting like, dude, what am I going to do? What do you want me to do? I don't get it. So anyway, we took care of that. And now I'm going to invite you to do the same thing, of course, and we're going to give it a shot here with the tarot cards. The tarot world rather, has heard my big long speech, and they know the theme of the conversation. And now we're going to invite the star of the show, the tarot world, to comment on this. Go to the booth and let's take a look at it and see if we can discern the pattern. Let's reverse engineer our life plan. I've got a couple of posters for this, tiny posters. We're going to call for a life review. And then we're going to talk about the steps of calling time out, examining the replay in the booth, and then restarting the clock, putting the ball on the field, or, throwing the hockey puck where it goes, whatever, starting the game where you need to start. Okay. Not looking back. Okay. Once you're done looking at the replay, move on. You got the next play to go to. The other thing I want to say is that there's a political analogy as well. I'm not an expert on this, but I'm going to say that in the UK, they have a parliamentary system. And every once in a while, in the United States, we have, every 4 years, we get to vote for our president, our executive branch. And every 6 years, we get to vote for our state senators. And every 2 years, we get to vote for our Congress people. But in the UK, when they need a new prime minister, at some point, the prime minister has to call the election for themselves. They have to throw the flag, blow the whistle, and call for a video replay. And they usually do it when, their poll numbers are high and they're grooving, because that's a good time to get a lot of votes, right? But it offers the public, the voting public, a chance to, have a video replay. Let's take a look at this guy right now. Let's analyze what's going on. Okay, let's vote yay or nay. So that's an example of what I'm talking about. All right, and then after I throw the cards and invite the tarot world to talk about the call for a life review, right now, even on a particular subject, it'll be time for tarot for the audience. So stand by, everybody. Ooh, I went long today. Oh, well, sorry about that. You can always press pause or fast forward. Let's go downstairs. All right, tarot world, here we go. I want to thank you for the lesson play today, Tarot World, and we're going to go with old style on this. Okay. We're going to call for a life review. Did I already mention the episode early in August? I think when I sang doo-wop, when I talked about pretending this is the last 3 minutes of life. So, how do you want to go out? Let's clear our mind on what's on it, whatever it is. We're going to call for a life review, and then we're going to talk about the steps of having the timeout, examining the replay, and then resetting the clock. Sounds like I got some Akashic piles coming. Here we go, Tarot World. Thank you very much for helping me share my story and connect the dots in my own life. Maybe that helps somebody else out there. I wish I had some. Oh, I think the clue is, what was the first card I showed everyone, right? It was the Eight of Swords, the manifestation card, as much as you can imagine. All right, so if Breakaway Ray is imagining that the universe is writing his paychecks, okay, let's watch and see how it manifests. Anyway, calling for a life review. We're going to take the top card, we're going to fan, and we're going to cut. Call for a life review, okay? And then the timeout, the replay in the booth, and resetting the clock. Let's go to each. Calling a timeout. Let's examine the replay in the booth in a dispassionate way, in a scientific manner, because it's not going to be a problem. When we restart the clock, it's a new game, it's a new play. This guy wants to come out with it. All right, here we go. I'm blowing the whistle. Call for a life review. We got the Four of Swords. I knew this card was coming out before I turned the camera on today, everybody. The Four of Swords is the meditation card. We're calling for a life review. We're going to repose. We're going to take a time out. Okay. The Two of Pentacles, multiple priorities, juggling more than one thing. Oh, wow, everybody. Check this out. It's the Lover's card. I gave a big speech about the Lover's card at the beginning of the day. And look, the Lover's card shows up at the beginning again. All right, so yes, I'm introducing everyone to the tarot world who's taking the podium to talk about re-examining the world, taking a time out and examining, weighing things, okay? Having more than one place where we're concentrating. We're in the present and we're going to videotape and connect the dots on the replays. It's a good idea. What I'm suggesting is that the tarot world says not only should you do it in your meditation, but when you do it, okay, that's your connection to the spirit world. It's a real thing, is what I'm hearing. I'm not making it up. There ought to be like a King of Swords showing up at some point. Where would the King of Swords be? Yeah, in the replay booth, probably. Well, let's just see what these cards are. We're calling a timeout. The Seven of Pentacles and the Four of Pentacles. The Seven of Pentacles talks about growing things and cultivating things. We're going to call a time out. When you're farming like that, you do have to take time out to take care of the plants, make sure everything grows right. And then you have the Four of Pentacles, who says, we're going to prize what shines. We want to see what's valuable in the play. Let's take a time out. You know what else I want to say? We're calling a timeout. Sounds athletic. How buff do these guys look? They got that way through hard work. They're playing hard. Let's put it that way. Okay, so timeout. You care about what you're growing. You prize what shines. Let's take a timeout and examine it. Let's look at the replay. Wow. Well, this kind of relates to the story that I shared, and maybe that's a dynamic other people understand as well. We have the Four of Cups and we have the Moon card. And the Four of Cups is the one that reminds us to appreciate everything that the universe gives us. We might be feeling apathetic, but we're not paying attention. The universe is sending an angel with the cup, and you have all the cups that you need. And you know what else? I would like to point out that the person in the lower part of the Four of Cups is not looking at the moon in the next card. You know what? That person is looking down and probably feeling down. And that's why they're not seeing it. You got to look up to the stars, honey. Okay. We are all of us in the gutter, but some of us are looking up at the stars. That's paraphrasing Oscar Wilde and the rock band, The Pretenders. Okay. And the Moon card talks about mystery and illusion and hidden things and the subconscious. So it reminds me of the Eight of Swords again. As much as you can imagine, look around, look up in the sky. The universe is there giving you what you need. How do you think you're able to even listen to my voice today? What got you here in the first place? Don't forget. Okay, and so now we're ready to restart the clock. We understand what's going on. We have faith in the universe. The universe has been with us the whole time. It's part of our plan, and we're learning from all these experiences. It makes us richer. Yay. And to close, we have the Queen of Wands, who's courageous and determined and has a zest for life, right? We're restarting the game, restart the clock, okay? And the Three of Wands is the expansion card. There's so much to explore out there. Today is just today. Wait till tomorrow. And the Three of Wands also says, luck is where preparation meets opportunity. How is this not like a message for me, Breakaway Ray? I just talked about how I spent 40 years with a microphone in my hand trying to entertain the audience. And now here I am. All right. Thank you, universe, and thank you, Tarot World. I hope those were some fun thoughts for you to mull through your mind today. Thanks for joining me today. And one more time, well done. Thank you, Tarot World. I'm going to give these a shuffle, and it's time for tarot for the audience. Wow, 45 minutes. All right. Stand by, please. Oh, thanks for the likes, everybody. So I want to say hi to people in the chat. Then I'm going to get the name tags out. If you don't have a name tag yet, I'm going to make you one. And then we'll sort out who has particular requests from the Tarot World. But you know what? If you don't have a particular request, I know the Tarot World knows what you want to talk about. So again, we can have faith that the universe is going to take care of it and put those cards in order for me. Let's say hi to some people. I think I saw Namira out there. Hi, Namira. Thanks again for joining me. I think I saw Judy, Mrs. NW5. Hi, Judy. Arizona Raven's here. That's great. Good morning, Arizona Raven. Hey, Melly Star is here. All right. Hi, Melly. Let's see. Arwen's here. Hi, Arwen. Oh, and Safe Haven's here. Hello, Safe Haven. Okay. So I'm going to get the name tags out. And if you would like a reading, everybody, in case I missed your name or whatever, go ahead and drop it in the chat. I'm happy to make you a name tag and throw some cards. All right. So the name tags are in this box. Yeah, I could see Melly Star's request from here in those capital letters. Nice. Okay. Arizona Raven. I got a pile of schoolhouses I'm going through here. Melly Star. I just dropped them all. Namira. Safe Haven. Did I miss somebody? Judy. Hello, Antonetta. Sure, Antonetta. I'll get you a reading. No problem. Thanks for tuning in. Please stand by. Judy. Okay, so I'm going to make a schoolhouse for Antonetta. Ooh, I misspelled it. Let me try again. Antonietta. Antonietta. I can handle the last name, Bartolone. Okay, and you got some numbers there. There you go, Antonietta. We'll get you a reading. Thanks for inviting me to read, everybody. Now I'm going to scroll and see if there's particular requests. Okay, so Melly Star wants the Ethereal Bloom deck. Great. Judy just wants one card. Got it. Safe Haven wants a reading. Great. Got it. Arwen. Oh, Arwen. Oh, wait. I got to get Arwen's name tag out. She gets a shamrock. There you go. Yeah, I'm still scanning the chat for a particular request, making sure I don't miss anybody. A little quality control. Thanks for being patient, everyone. One card for Judy. Oh, Namira got you. Arwen. Okay, I think I've got everybody, but if I make a mistake, go ahead and let me know in the chat. I'm doing the best I can. I'm happy to help out. I'm going to start off with Judy because she wants one card. So here we go. Let's go old style again. All right. Judy, let's have a card for Judy, please. That's not the card. That's definitely not the card. Get out of here, Three of Swords. Okay. Hi, Tarot World. Our friend Judy's back. Could you please share one great card for her? Thank you. This card is for Judy. It's the Fool card. A fresh start, new beginnings. Today is the first day of the rest of your life. Look at that sunshine. Have a good time, Judy. Thank you very much for inviting me to read. Sweet. Nice. Just what the doctor ordered, right, Judy? All right, next up. Melly Star. Let's throw some Ethereal Bloom cards. I see Namira's message about it being tulip season in the Netherlands. Yeah, that is exciting. I actually have some bulbs in my yard. You know, because I'm a big fan of the Netherlands, right, for a long time. But these cards are from Melly Star. Melly Star, let's throw some Ethereal Bloom cards. How about a positive, inspirational message for Melly Star, please? She really likes these cards. Apparently, she really likes your readings, Tarot World. That's why she keeps coming back. That's awesome. These cards are from Melly Star. A little seasoning at the end here. Thanks for inviting me to read. These cards are from Melly. The World card, completion. You have arrived. The Empress. Yeah, look at you go. Let's read about the Empress. I know every time I get the Empress card, I have to remind everyone, if you go to the STARCARD podcast playlist, there's a playlist with 5 episodes. I think it's called 5 Days with the Empress. And we learn a lot about ourselves and the Empress card. But very quickly, let's read from the book about the Empress, one of my heroes. Excuse me. The Empress. There is beauty, abundance, femininity in your life. There may be a new opportunity, romance, art, or new business on the horizon. Focus on your senses and on creative expression. You will experience pleasure and deep fulfillment. This is like being paid to be on vacation. You got all your ducks lined up in a row, and now, your corner of the planet is your own. 5 of Pentacles. The 5 of Pentacles talks about feeling isolated or even abandoned or feeling impoverished in some way, although this is a very lovely image, okay? Being left out in the cold. So I'm not going to focus just on this card because we got one more card here over here, Millie Star. 8 of Cups. Oh, okay. I think the message seems pretty simple. Hey, Melly Star, the world is your oyster. You can do whatever you want. And guess what? If something ain't going your way, walk away. It's that simple. The Empress knows that. Meanwhile, yay. Well, did I just say yay for this? I said yay for the 8 of Swords, but I didn't mean yay, 8 of Swords and 5 of Wands together. So the 8 of Swords is simply my card for, as much as you can imagine, it's a manifestation card. What we put our attention to, we bring to life, like Dr. Frankenstein and his monster. But we don't want to bring to life the 5 of Wands card. The 5 of Wands card talks about winning at all costs and competition and things like that. However, now, first of all, of course, I don't know you at all. Maybe that's exactly what you want. Maybe you dig that. That is your thing. I don't know. Maybe you're like in the roller derby. Maybe you're one of those people. Maybe you're on a female hockey team or something like that. Look at all those hockey players in the 5 of Wands carrying their sticks. Okay, if that's your thing, that's great. But let's also, all of us, it's a good message for all of us. You know what? If something ain't floating our boat, we don't have to pay attention to it. In fact, we should find something else to pay attention to. Well, we should remember that we are the Empress and the world is our oyster and we have the power of manifestation. And we just walk away from situations that don't work for us. So we're going to throw one more card here, Melly. I'm going to just draw right off the deck here because I'm satisfied with the story, but I bet that there's like a promising card that we just have not seen yet. The King of Wands, overcoming all obstacles, seeing the big picture, getting in God's Zeppelin and taking a look down, having perspective. There you go, Melly Star. Thanks a lot for inviting me to read. Way to go, Tarot World. You are really fancying things up every week. Awesome, dramatic, dynamic readings. Thank you, Tarot World. Have some more cards before I shuffle there. All right, next up. Shamrocks ahoy, it's for Arwen. Thank you, Melly Star, for that comment. That really means a lot to me. All right, but we're going to go to Arwen now. And hey, Arwen, let's go Robin Wood. Again, really appreciate that, Melly Star. Thanks. I'm grateful and relieved. All right, and these cards are for Arwen. Yo, Tarot World, that applause is for you. So thank you very much. Me and the Tarot World, we're like Abbott and Costello. I'm the Costello. Who's on first? Wow, Melly Star went on the Goodyear blimp. That is so awesome. Cool. Okay, we're throwing cards for Arwen. See, I can't look at the chat. Here we go. Let's try again, Arwen. These cards for Arwen. A fun, inspirational message for Arwen, please. I know you know what's going on. Thank you, Tarot World. These cards are for Arwen. What's going on there? These cards are for Arwen. Thank you, Tarot World. I can't wait to see that first card. Here we go, Arwen. This is for entertainment purposes only. What's going on here? Wow, Arwen, are you paying attention? Because the spirit world is right here to deliver a message. It's the Lover's card. Wow. I mean, did you see the way that card was spinning before? Wow. Hey, Arwen, the Death card says endings, beginnings, and transformations. Okay, so change seems to be on the horizon. I know. Check it out, Arwen. Wow. You got the Magician. So are you making some magic happen? It's all about timing. It's all about timing. The magic happens when it's the right time. And it could be any magical tool. Could be the cup, emotion. Could be the sword, which is a word. Could be the wand, which is an action. Could be the pentacle, some kind of investment of an energy or even money. Okay, it's just a matter of pulling the trigger at the right time. Do we buy that appliance? Do we invest in that stock? Do I get that tattoo? Do I take the car to the shop? Okay, wow. The important point, according to me, it's the Page of Swords. I was thinking of this card before I turned on the camera today. The Page of Swords talks about new forms of communication. But for me, the Page of Swords is the gleeful person. Look at this person running down the hill, having so much fun, flying through the air. Look, not even touching the ground. I don't think they should be running with a sword. For me, a teacher, I would say, don't run in the classroom with the scissors. I was always telling kids how to hold the scissors right? But look at how much fun this person has. There ought to be like a Queen of Wands coming up soon. So whatever the change is, don't worry, it's happening at the right time. Just have fun with it. This is like good news, Arwen. Jeez. All right, Arwen. So the Two of Cups says partnership, the power of two together. But look, it's at the beginning of the sentence, and it's a repetition. This is a message from the spirit world. You're off on a new adventure. You're off on a new adventure, Arwen. Good luck. Have fun. Thank you, Tarot World. Oh, dude. So unbelievable. I mean, I hope it's all true, right? If we pay attention to it, everybody, Arwen's going to have like an awesome 3 months. Yeah, right on, Arwen. Let's all remember that reading. We should watch that reading over and over again for Arwen's benefit. Next up, it's Arizona Raven. Let's go old style. Here we go, Arizona Raven. I appreciate your dedication. I think that card wanted to come out for you. Here we go. These cards for Arizona Raven. Well, yeah, I'm going to leave that one there. I'm going to put it up here. There we go. That thing is still dancing. What is going on? Yeah, right on, Arwen. That was pretty cool. All right. Hey, Arizona Raven. These cards are for you, and this one was dancing around. I want to look at that one right away. It's the Knight of Cups. He's the knight in shining armor. And anyway, congratulations. That's good news. Oh, level number 9 is here. Hi, level number 9. Please stand by. I think I can fit you in. No problem. But then, oh, you know what I'm going to have to do? I'm going to have to draw the line right now. Whoops. Stand by, everybody. Hang on, Arizona Raven. Yes, I made a schoolhouse for Antonetta. So Antonetta is also on deck. I got Safe Haven and Namira, and I'm going to get level number 9 out in a minute. I'm going to finish Arizona Raven's reading. And, oh, Arizona Raven drew a line for me, and now I'm going to do it. There we go. Thank you, everybody. Sweet. So hang on, level number 9. I'm going to get your name tag out. This is for Arizona Raven. She's got a knight in shining armor riding into town. Okay, there's a new sheriff in town. Okay, and the King of Swords, he's all about mental clarity and the truth. And then the Devil card says the truth is we got to let something go. And the Knight of Pentacles tells me it's responsibility. It's the dutiful thing to do. I mean, I never want to like be in this position, and I feel bad for anyone who has been in this position, but either being the person who has to let somebody go or being the person, being let go. But, what kind of person do you want to have on your staff? You want to have this guy with all his shadows and darkness, or do you want the responsible worker? Okay. So it sounds like, you got a new candidate riding into town, and the guy that's been on the staff, he's dutifully probably nervous that, he's going to be replaced. It sure looks that way. But the Nine of Pentacles says, enjoy the fruits of your labor. Well, this is a guy that labors. Okay. And I'm sorry, this is the guy that labors. So I feel like you have like a new candidate coming in. Like if you were a professor, you have a new student, a master's degree student who's going to be an intern and can help you out with your work and your classwork and the paper grading and the lessons. Okay. Well, anyway, it looks like you know what the truth is and how to handle it. Good luck, Arizona Raven. I hope that was a fun reading. Oh, wow. Look at that message. Arizona Raven says, funny, we have a new employee today. Way to go, Arizona Raven. Thank you, Tarot World. A lot of magic involved, says High Priestess. Crazy. Wow. I need to get level number 9's name tag out so I don't lose track. I believe level number 9 had, a heart from February. Very good, Arizona Raven. I really appreciate your feedback. Thanks for inviting me to read. See, when I get comments like that, it's supposed to make me believe there's something psychic going on. Level number 9. Oh, hey, level number 9. We're going to go with, I'm going to say, well, you know what? I'm going to do Antonietta. Did I say that right? Antonietta. Here we go. Some cards for Antonietta. Let's go with the Robin Wood here. Okay, ready, Antonietta? Benvenuto. Here we go. Whoops. I'm too excited. Let me try that again, Antonietta. These cards are for Antonietta. Please show us what Antonietta needs to see. Please tell us what Antonietta needs to hear. Thank you, Tarot World. You're on fire. You know what you're doing. Here we go. Antonietta came to see you. Thanks for delivering a fun, helpful message for Antonietta. Guardamare come velo. Okay, here we go. Here we go, Antonietta. This is for entertainment purposes only. Antonietta, the Queen of Pentacles, sensible, practical, working parent. Ooh, the Seven of Cups. So many opportunities, so many things to think about. Wow, the Emperor. You are in control. Yay. You're watching STARCARD Podcast. It's the STARCARD. You feel rejuvenated and inspired. You have faith. So here you are, Antonietta. Like the Queen of Pentacles, you're a responsible parent. And because you keep all your shows in order, you keep everything in order, you keep the show going, this gives you lots of opportunities. And you recognize this because you have all the control. And that is inspiring when you feel empowered. But it started with being responsible and picking wisely, right? Streamlining your energy, selecting the correct cup to stay in control. That's inspiring when you feel empowered. Good for you. Wow. Check that out. Well, Antonietta, you have the Wheel of Fortune and the Death card. So yes, here you've been going along very well, making good decisions. You're in control and inspired, and you should feel inspired because you have power. And now the Wheel of Fortune says the time has come And the death card says things are going to change. The death card is about endings, beginnings, and transformation. So, hey, Antonietta, good luck to you. Buona fortuna. Guess what? You got change on the way, but you don't need to be worried at all. You should be inspired. You are in control. Thank you, Antonietta. I appreciate you tuning in today. Let me give these a toss. Thanks, Tarot World. What a beautiful message. You are really outdoing yourself every day, Tarot World. Here we go. Next up, it's Namira. I like throwing the flower cards for Namira. Let's go back to Ethereal Bloom in honor of the tulips. Lekker bloemen. Here we go. Oh, look, Julia Anchorhaven's here. That was nice of you to tune in, Julia. Thank you very much. Here we go. These cards are for Namira. I'm just having fun looking at tulips in my mind right now. Those fields and all the different colors. All right, we're going to get a lot of flowers here. These cards are for Namira. Thank you, Tarot World. A lot of colorful, fun imagery for Namira. Hey, Antonietta, thank you very much for your feedback. I appreciate it. You're so welcome. All right, and here we go, Namira. Let's continue with your message. Well, I'm glad this is coming out at the beginning. We get it out of the way. It's the Three of Swords. It's the heartache song. It's the Ace of Wands. We're making magic happen. There's magic in the air. So hang on a second. It sounds like Grandma to the rescue again. Okay. Oh, did someone get a boo-boo? Grandma's going to make it all better. The Two of Pentacles, juggling more than one thing at a time, right? You're, for example, a homemaker and a caretaker, or, you work and you have a home life, okay? You're in charge domestically. And then the Death card says there's endings, beginnings, and transformations. So we could spin this Three of Swords around all day long here, but you know what? Whatever doesn't kill us makes us stronger. And sometimes we've been through experiences and training that helps us to make magic. So get